You're working your tail off, you're uploading consistently, and then one day, poof, your views just fall off a cliff. What in the world happened? If you're a creator staring at your analytics and wondering where your audience went, trust me, you are not alone. In this explainer, we're going to unpack the massive changes that have shaken up the entire platform. And look, let's just get this out of the way right now. If your views suddenly tanked, I really need you to hear this. It is almost certainly not your fault. Seriously, you are not going crazy, and it's not because your videos suddenly got bad overnight. Something much, much bigger is going on here. I mean, just look at this. This is a real post from a creator on Reddit, a 50+% decline. That's not just a bad week, that is a career-threatening drop. And this isn't some one-off thing, it's happening to thousands of creators all across YouTube right now. Yeah, half your audience, potentially half your revenue, just gone. It feels like it happened in a flash. And this new reality, it's all tied to a series of pretty chaotic, behind-the-scenes changes that YouTube has been rolling out. So, to really get what's happening, we have to put on our detective hats. We're going to walk through a timeline of all this turmoil and piece together exactly how and when YouTube's algorithm went through maybe its most radical transformation ever. Just look at this timeline. It's been relentless. It started back in mid-2024 with a new focus on satisfaction. Then, boom, August 2025 hits with the verification crisis. A month later, a freshness pivot completely changes the game for Shorts. Then comes a crackdown on AI-generated slop, and right after that, a total overhaul of the browse feed. It's just been one major change after another. Okay, so what's the single biggest thing driving all this chaos? Well, it's time to meet the main culprit. A completely new philosophy that's now powering the entire recommendation engine. So for years, the holy grail was watch time, right? The game was simple, keep people on the platform as long as possible. But the new system, it's way more complex. It's not just about how long someone watched, but how satisfied they were with what they watched. It's a huge shift. And they measure this with a brand new metric, the viewer satisfaction score. Now, this thing looks at everything: post-watch surveys, likes, shares, and maybe most importantly, whether a viewer comes back to your channel for more. Basically, it's trying to measure delight, not just duration. YouTube's own director of growth, Todd Beaupre, had a great analogy for this. He said the old algorithm was like a cook just following a recipe. You know, watch time plus click-through rate, done. But the new AI, it's like an expert chef. It understands nuance, context, and the feeling of a video to serve up the perfect recommendation. And this new chef in the kitchen had some massive, very real impacts. Let's take a look at what creators are calling the verification crisis from back in August 2025. This was a moment when a ton of major channels saw their numbers just nosedive. This chart shows the chaos perfectly. I mean, you've got huge names like Jeff Geerling, Bellalar News, and Skill Up all reporting drops of 30 to 35% at the exact same time. The reported reasons were all over the place. Things like YouTube changing how it counted views from people with ad blockers or shifting how data was reported. But the result was exactly the same: a sudden, synchronized plunge in views. But the new algorithm is only half the story. There's a second culprit at play here, and this one is a lot more, well, architectural. It's about the literal space available on the YouTube homepage. And this is a really crucial point. It's not just about what YouTube wants to recommend, it's about what it has the room to show you. And as you're about to see, the space for traditional long-form videos has been shrinking fast. So check this out. Just a couple years ago in 2024, the homepage would usually show you 2 full rows of long-form videos. That gave creators about 10 potential spots to get seen. Fast forward to today, and for a lot of us, that's down to a single row of just 3 videos before you hit a giant wall of shorts. That's a 70% reduction in prime real estate on the homepage. No wonder it feels like your channel suddenly hit a brick wall. There's just way more competition for way fewer spots. Okay. That was a lot of bad news. The investigation is over, so now let's get to the good news, the survival guide. We figured out the problem, and now it's time for your recovery playbook. The very first thing we all need to accept is that the old playbook is broken. The SEO tricks and optimization hacks that worked a couple of years ago just won't cut it now. To survive and actually thrive in this new world, we have to adapt with some new, very specific strategies. So let's get tactical. First up, the pattern break. It sounds crazy, but if your views are stalled, try skipping an upload. It can actually force the algorithm to kind of reevaluate your channel. Second, try sequence uploading. This is where you chain a short, then a long video, then a poll, all on the same topic. You're signaling to the AI that you're creating a really high-value session for a viewer. And third, if you're a smaller channel, you cannot forget about that hype button. It can give you a really crucial 7-day boost in visibility. But maybe the biggest new idea we need to wrap our heads around is optimizing for the AI itself. YouTube search is becoming more reasoning-based, which means we need to start thinking about something called generative engine optimization. So what the heck is generative engine optimization? It's actually pretty simple. It just means making your content super easy for YouTube's AI to understand and to cite. So instead of a vague title like, "My Awesome Trip," you'd use a citable claim, like reviewing 3 budget-friendly hotels in Tokyo. Then you back it up with data in the description, and, this is important, always upload an accurate manual transcript. You're basically structuring your video so when the AI is looking for the best answer to a question, it confidently points right to your video. Now, even with all this turbulence, there is a real reason for hope. Let's go back to YouTube's Todd Beaupre. He's been really clear that these dips are normal, and he says channels that go down often come right back up. This is a cycle, not a death sentence. And this all brings us to a really important question. The tools have changed, the metrics have changed, but has the fundamental goal of creating on YouTube really shifted at all? The answer is probably not. In fact, you could argue it's just doubled down on the original goal. With a system that now prioritizes genuine satisfaction, the single best strategy is to stop trying to game the algorithm and just focus everything on making incredible videos that a real person would absolutely love and want to share. Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. As AI gets better and better at understanding content and even creating it, is your unique voice, your perspective, your human authenticity, is that the only true sustainable advantage any of us have left?